We're playing in our tournament today. Hello, hello. Tournament time. We're a little bit late to it. I got stuck in some shenanigans-y type of traffic on the way back from the gym, so trying to get myself sorted out here. Figure out what the hell's going on. Getting myself situated. Let's see. Map bans. What do we need to get rid of? We've got Bleakspire Labor Camp, Vines of Varenio, which is probably what I'd prefer to play on. It's a pretty good map for Khorne. The Blood Grove. I mean, that's home field advantage, right? Theoretically. Don't know if I'm top or bottom of the bracket, though, so I don't know if I'm banning or if I'm just picking from the two that my opponent's leaving open. Okay, I'm banning. So we're banning Bleakspire. It's just not a very good map. It's pretty heinous, honestly. It's very small. And the lizards are just going to swarm those objectives. They're very quick. They'll get up on them before I can, and I just don't want to deal with the chicanery that the lizardmen have to offer with a million skinks just swarming over all the objectives. So we're going to be on Bloodgrove, which is fine. It's really not a bad map at all. It's pretty neutral for both sides, in fact. Really one where I'm going to have an advantage outside of maybe one or two specific play styles. I'm joining. Just need to kind of figure out what the game plan's going to be against the Lizardmen here. Adler's a really good player. I've played him a couple times, and he has always been a very stiff competitor. I'm gonna grab one of these guys. We're going to go for a little bit of a different opener, so to speak. One that I wouldn't normally just run right out the gate the way I am here. But do actually kind of like for going up against lizards. Actually do think I want them like that. Maybe cut this and grab, That's what I'm missing from the build. Okay. Is this enough? I think it is. I think we'll cut those guys. The Bloodletter. I think we're good on infantry, honestly. We've got a ton in, our starting army, in fact. We don't want the, Corngores. $10, $11 on the top. Nice spread of units. Anything else I need in here? Actually bringing Forsaken just for the ITP at base, because Lizardmen can go for some pretty monstrous builds. I mean, just like tons and tons of big scary things like Dread Saurian. I am a little worried about that. So I need to make sure that I've got Minotaurs, got those. Also got my throwing axes, plenty of those guys. It's a nice map for skirmish cab in general. A blood beast, just to go hammer some stuff and maybe sneak in there and like surround a lizard lord and just pummel them to death. I mean, they're really good at that. I have a ton of stuff to Vanguard. But my lord is vanguarded. And he's pretty damn strong at just rushing and getting right up in the face of enemy units, so not too worried about that situation. Spread out a little bit here, and the Forsaken are going to sit on the far side of the map here for the time being, and just be nice and quick response units. They're pretty good even against stuff like Cold One Riders, because they've got so much weapon strength. They just hit so freaking hard. Blood Shrine for some buffs, always very good for Khorne. I mean, they do a lot for you. Could have gone Skull Taker, but I imagine my opponent might actually be kind of ready for him. It's what most Khorne players bring anyways. And I just want to play something a little bit different right now. It's kind of my vibe. So we're just going to move up. We'll move over to the middle. And oh, he's going for the double Ancient Salamander build. He's got Krokgar, a Skink Priest with Chain Lightning, which is cool. Alright, so the double Ancient Salamander is pretty tough. It's definitely something that can do some good damage to my infantry. And I just need to be a little bit careful here. Try and avoid some of this damage. We'll get the Bloodletters forward, because they are pretty resilient against those things. We're going to get a Minotaur out pretty quickly here. Yeah, that does hurt. It's not the worst thing in the world. The Hounds are actually going to get in on the Umbral Tide here. And they can do some pretty good damage to these guys. We're going to use Arball to get the attack here. Just have my Hounds pull back for a minute, and then we'll charge in here. Let's just push quick. These guys up. Krokgar is in on me. It's not that big of a deal, though, because we're actually going to get some pretty good engagements here. You can see the aggression is actually going alright for me. Let's loop this guy around. Go back here. Keep pushing here. Keep attacking. Warriors just need to keep going. We've got our boy walking on in. I'm gonna get Arball over so he can go beat up on some of these other units. And secure my guys here. So we're just chasing and kind of pushing back the lizards as best we can. It's really not a bad situation at all for us. Let's just keep this fight going, man. Oh yeah, that's a really nice Chain Lightning. It's gonna get some decent damage on me for sure. Let's pop this here. Let's get another Minotaur up. ones are going to go in. We've got Sacred Croxagores over here. It's fine. Arball doesn't mind getting hit by that, honestly. It's really not that painful. Let's actually get out and go kill Krokgar. The Minotaurs, I think, should be able to finish him off there. Get over and attack these guys, and we can get a Fury out on this side of the field now and go after the skirmishers here. Arball's going to keep scrapping. We're going to drop our horn here. This is where you drop your Bloodletter Summon, and they might be able to actually close the gap on these guys and get them. Need more Minos to go up over here. And we're just gooning out all of these skirmish units now. And holding a triple, or not a triple cap. Let's actually secure this over here, though. Alright. He just kind of threw in the towel there. I honestly don't know if he needed to, but we really did just go full aggro on him. These Ancient Salamanders are a really strong unit, but they're really not that good in melee combat, and you can definitely push them back and kind of just run over the Lizardmen if you go aggressive against them. Especially as the Blood God. You've just got so much heavily statted armor-piercing units that are very, very resilient. Even to decent skirmish play, and Adler was doing a pretty good job of protecting all this. It's just that he doesn't really have anything in here to kind of heal and outlast me. He was really hoping to get some really fat chain lightnings, and he got one good one, but spell resistance mitigated a lot of the damage, and he couldn't really snipe my Lord, which was one of his go-to strategies, bringing Krokgar, because Krokgar, you use Hand of the Gods to like shoot Valkia or Skulltaker and do a bunch of damage to them. Valkia can use Demon Shield against Hand of the Gods, but you have to really be on the lookout for it, and that can be a little bit difficult to keep an eye out for at times. Arball's a little harder to use Hand of the Gods against because he's very heavily armored, mitigates a lot of the damage from it, actually, and then he's got this missile resistance. I don't know if spell resistance counts against Hand of the Gods, but based on the amount of damage that it did against him, I think it might, because normally Hand of the Gods is like 1,500 damage. Arball really only seemed to take about 700-800. You can see it's got that really nice AP, but every little bit of armor over 100 is mitigating exponentially more than at lower levels of armor, even though the returns are not quite as good, technically, on value. It's that extra bit that makes all the difference. Okay, so let's just go put in our game. Finished really fast. I mean, I did get here a little late, so we'll see how far into the round we are. We've got like 4 games still to be played by people. I've got some cool replays here that I want to show off. Really cool one against Renegade Moose here that I haven't gotten to show off on stream yet. I want to show this off because it's a pretty cool game, actually. Renegade went with a really interesting build. I'm on Vampire Counts, he's on Tomb Kings, obviously. Vampire Counts aren't really a faction that I play a bunch, but I do have a lot of experience with them in land battles, and they're really strong in domination mode. They're one of the top factions for pretty good reason. They've got a lot of really effective units on their roster. They've got a lot of passive healing, which is really strong. Corpse Carts, giving Vigor Mortis and Unholy Lodestone is perfect vigor and a nice big radius, which is damn good. Really tough to do anything about. And here's the build for Renegade Moose that I'm interested to show you guys. You got double Lich Priest, actually. Brought these Inkill's canopies, which imbue spell resistance, so very hard to like snipe these units. In the build itself, gives an imbuement in a full radius around these guys for 24 seconds. It's a little bit like the Locus of Abjuration for the Blood Reapers, I believe is what they're called. Yeah, the Blood Reapers, the hero characters for Khorne, little demon guys. And bringing a Hyrule Titan, it's got Bound, Shem's Burning Gaze, and 2 Spirit Leeches, plus all the Spirit Leeches that these Lich Priests have, and he went deep into it. He's got both of them with it, so he's trying to go for Lord Sniping, which is a good call. Against Vampire Counts, obviously, they do tend to bring some pretty expensive characters. I did bring the Red Duke. A lot of people go with the Strigoi Ghoul King. And I think the reason that my opponent brought this Hyrule Titan is exactly for the Strigoi, because the Hyrule Titan does have flaming and magic attacks, and Shem's Burning Gaze does flaming damage as well, which hits through the regeneration on the Strigoi really nicely. It would be a very exceptionally strong counter to him. The Red Duke's a little bit more resilient, but is definitely character that I'm going to have to be careful with. And you can see a Shem's Burning Gaze coming down here. I am going to try and do a little bit of dodge shenanigans. I try to land the Red Duke on the ground, but he still gets popped anyways. Not as effective as I would really like. And I've got a lot of my units over on this side of the field on the number 2, so I'm going to move my White Kings over. White Kings are exceptionally powerful units. They've already used Scab Scraiths over here, I believe, right? Yeah, I did use Scab Scraith already. Just to hit the Skeleton Horsemen, I just want to wear these guys out, because I don't want my opponent to get a bunch of value out of them and unsummon them to get supplies back. I want to make sure that they get worn down if I can help it. Varric's Reavers are here because, again, Skirmish Cav, very popular for Tomb Kings, and Varric's Reavers, very tough to kill in the skirmish phase of the game. They are weak to fire damage, but there's a lot bigger fish to fry in that respect for the Tomb Kings. And these guys' regeneration, good armor, and bronze shield means that the Skeleton Horse Archers really ain't going to be doing a whole lot to them. So, very happy to just have them running back and forth, being a little annoying. Doing some silliness here, though. You don't want to retreat into your infantry when they're static, because the lines are a little bit harder to push through. So you can see these guys having a little bit of trouble getting back within their little block here. Bringing up some Cairn Wraiths. Cairn Wraiths very powerful, actually. Not a very common sight, but they do a lot of damage to single entities because of the AP values on these guys. As long as they have a little bit of heal support and aren't getting hit by a ton of magic damage, they're usually going to do pretty good. So really only the Hyrule Titan and the Sphinx of Uskef here I'm worried about in that respect. I'm just going to use them to try and countercharge either the big monsters or the Tomb King or just whatever my opponent is trying to throw out. He's bringing a lot of mass, like big single entities that are going to make it very difficult for me to kind of sit in one spot and grind out the game. But he's not really doing anything to pressure me on the number 2 objective. I'm going to move my Crypt Ghoul over, and I'm going to leave a lot of my bodies over here because my cap weight is just kind of poor in general as the Vampire Counts. You don't have a lot of really good cap weight on the faction. I need most of the cap weight over here. That's why I'm bringing the Crypt Ghouls, because they have full cap weight. Was going to be really useful for me. Drop a zombie summon back here just to muck up the works and allow the Red Duke to get free. Cairn Wraith's getting chunked a little bit because they're on top of all these big baddies, and I'm just going to try and get away with them. I don't want to let them get ripped apart here by the Sphinx and the Hyrule Titan. Red Duke. I'm just looking for opportunities, but I haven't really found one. I'm looking to get on the Tomb King again, but Renegade is doing a great job of maneuvering around. Tries to hit me with shims there, but Red Duke just gets up in the air and avoids that. I've got breath attacks. I've already used one. I could have been a little bit more aggressive with them, I suppose, but haven't really had great opportunities to utilize it yet. Vargeist are going to dive in here, trying to shut down the Tomb King. At the very least, we're preventing the Tomb King from running over my infantry right now. And the Varix Reavers going to be continuing their mischief, chasing around these skirmish cavalry. Still haven't been able to really get an effective engagement on them, but the Scab Scrates have been wearing them out really nicely. I've used both of them and actually done quite a bit of work against them, and they're currently shooting my Vargeist, which I'm not really loving. Invo on the Red Duke. Red Duke is just getting Spirit Leeched on cooldown. Really good call from my opponent, trying to go for that. It's the right way to go about this particular playstyle that he's going for, and he's getting a lot of value, but most of that value is just purely tied up in my character, right? He's running over some zombies. The Konigstein Stalkers have taken some damage. The Graveguard Halberds are just grinding everything down here. This Ushabti unit, in fact, is almost on death's door already. They've been getting hammered by the AP damage from these Graveguard right now, and more Cryptars on the way in. Of course, Cryptars are in this build. They're just an incredibly powerful unit, and I'm trying to make full use out of those guys. And Corpse Cart, one of them, all the way rotating over now and just giving some of that passive healing. I dropped an overcasted Invocation of Nehek here, just to keep all of my stuff fighting. You can see it going off on a lot of these units. Didn't hit this Vargeist for whatever reason. Very frustrating. The Red Duke is basically on death's door. I mean, he's got a little bit of room on his healing cap, but not really loving the current situation with him. I'm just going to run him to the back of the map now and let him hang out in the trees. There's no reason to commit him. I'm regaining the value lead thanks to the grind from the Cryptars and my Konigstein Stalkers and Graveguard. Graveguard have actually been doing a majority of the damage here. Very, very powerful, impactful unit so far. Red Duke's going to fly over. I'm looking for an opportunity to drop some more magic, really, but seeing him get hit again by the Spirit Leech convinced me to just fully commit to healing him up and keeping him away from the Lich Priests. We did kill one Lich Priest down here. It was the one with the Canopet Jar, but not really that important. I'm not really going for magic damage so much right now. Mostly just using a very aggressive stuffing strategy right now. I'm keeping back some of the cap weight here. There's Tomb Guard, there's Nehekara Warriors back here. You can see all of the skirmish cav have crumbled out by now pretty much. Dire Pack has done a little bit of work against them. Mostly it's been the Varix Reavers and the Scab Scrates, as I mentioned. And the Varix Reavers are going to go down here. Tomb King and the Sphinx are back there kind of pummeling them, and it's not going too hot. But we are just locking down the objectives. We've got both of them here. I'm moving another zombie over. I'm just keeping some zombies up the front to try and make it a little bit more difficult to just rush up onto the objective with some cap weight. And then the Corpse Cart and some Skeleton Spears are in the middle just to kind of bundle up together and stay protected. Vargeist going to try and goon out the Sphinx. Little vulnerable back here for sure, but good response from my opponent. He's going to bring both of his Tomb Guard Halberds over. I'm just going to try and get the Vargeist up in the air. A little bit of damage on these guys as they're trying to pull back. Some of them stuck on the ground, but for the most part, they get up in the air and they're, you know, they're okay. One of them is pretty beat up, hasn't really gotten any value. Another is done all right. On the ground, though, we're doing very well. The White Kings are just continuing to poke and chip away at these big monsters. You can see the rock-solid stats just continuing to stay at absolute max with the Unholy Lodestone underneath everything. Just gotta love these things. I love my Corpse Carts. Absolutely cracked unit when you position them correctly. And it's just been impossible for my opponent to really deal with this thing up to this stage of the game. It's thrown down a lot of passive healing and extra stats on all my units. Crypt Ghouls have been getting it. The Cairn Wraiths have been benefiting. Konigstein Stalkers are getting the benefits now. You can see they're drained currently, but they are actually getting the effects here, and they will start to be rejuvenated, being in the unholy light of the massive pile of dead bodies and the weird little ringing bell. I don't know what that signifies, but it's doing something for sure. Lich Priest comes back out onto the field. My opponent drops a Spirit Leech onto my Vargeist and does a little bit of damage, but we are getting on the Sphinx of Uskef again. This thing is a really powerful character, or not a character, but a really powerful, like, monster type of unit. It is a little vulnerable, though, when it gets swarmed by monstrous infantry. And there's some support pieces underneath your own stuff, like these Crypt Ghouls. The Crypt Ghouls are soaking up a little bit of the attacks here that the Sphinx is trying to throw down on my Vargeist. Does get a few good blows in here, though, and you can see them starting to crumble out. One unit is about to go down. The other hanging in there, but we do get this thing to crumbling. Losing that Sphinx. Really nice situation for me, and the Red Duke is busy hanging out in the back of the map still. I've gotten him up to full. He's got 3,300 HP. It's really not that much, but, you know, every little bit is going to help. Just in case I need him in the very, very late stages of the game. I've got him available to maybe go after the Tomb King. Tomb King is getting a little bit of damage. He just tosses my zombies there. He's got 1,200 value, but really the Hyro Titan has been the badass of note. 2,700 value, but all of that for naught, because my opponent just can't get to my back point. I played it very coy over here by having the Konigstein Stalkers and summoning out the Cairn Wraiths and just having my units rotate over. It's made it very difficult for my opponent to get the cap weight in, because he started out with a bunch of skeleton spears for the most part, and then he brought out his Tomb Guard, and then all of the Nakara warriors, and it just hasn't really been doing a whole lot for him to be constantly fighting on top of this blob, for obvious reasons, right? He does actually take out the corpse cart, though, so that's a big loss. It's not that big of a deal, though, because it's pretty much triple cap territory. He's trying to go for a cheeky back cap, but we just have the Fellbats and Varix Reavers out with the Dire Pack now to just swarm all over these cav. The Skeleton Horsemen are actually one of the better cap weight units for the Tomb Kings. So, early in the game, I just had most of my guys fighting on the point. Now that they've moved off and they're, you know, making some momentum pushes towards my opponent's back objective, that's when he goes for the swoop in to try and grab this, and that's when I just summon out all the loads of garbage that I had to tar pit stuff, and worked out really nicely. You know, the Fellbats are just there if you went for, like, a big skeleton bow line with, like, the Blessed Legion of Petra or something. I didn't need them until the end of this game. I had a very comfortable supply lead on my opponent the whole time. I was able to respond to his units a little bit more effectively, and it's just been locking him down, and he's going to tap out here. Really cool build, though. I mean, I thought my Red Duke pick was going to do a lot more than he ended up doing. It was pretty ineffective, actually. Oh, the spell damage. I forgot that it's got that spell amplification now. That makes sense. I'm good, Kintama. How are you, man? Rost, how's it going, bro? We already played our first game. We got a win, and I just wanted to show this game off, because I haven't been able to show it on stream or do a standalone video on it. Just a nice little one to showcase the power of the vampire counts, and sometimes when you bring a big lord, he doesn't get to do much of anything. He got 500 value here on, what? He was like 2,800 in total, I think. You can see that the hero core for the Tomb Kings is pretty strong. Sphinx of Uskef also got good value, but pretty much everything else was very ineffectual. Kefir Guard were alright, but they fell eventually. The Horse Archers just getting wrecked by Scab Scraith was good enough for me. Alright, round 2 is the up. We're up against Potato Devil, who's on Wood Elves. Oh, man. Okay. We're on Corn, so this is going to be a little bit tricky. Wood Elves are pretty damn tough for Corn. I've got a few builds that can work against them, though, and, you know, we'll just see what we can pull off here. Definitely going to be a little tricky, but I think we can maybe push them down. We're basically just playing in this tournament until I'm out. However long that is, you know. Not going to be doing anything else. We're going to go Valkia here, I think. Or maybe not. Here. I'm going to flip away for a minute. I'm going to build my army in the grim darkness of the current present, I guess. I mean, you know. We're gonna see what we can come up with. I'm fairly confident in this matchup. I've had quite a bit of success in it. It's just a matter of staying aggressive and not getting super discouraged by Wood Elf Kite, because they're fast as hell. They will get you in knots. If you start getting frustrated, you've got to take a breath and just realize that they cannot fight you very well in the melee game. They've got decent tools to do it, but you actually do have a pretty substantial advantage for the most part. Just because you've got such powerful mobility units, right? Like, Khorne has some pretty serious teeth in the mobile game, and we're going to try and take advantage of that here. Don't know. We might actually need one of those guys. Yeah, just one will work. One of these. And no, not a unit I really need. Nor do I need this. Got one of thems. Just another one of these guys. Yeah, it's a little costly. Trying to figure out what this last unit that I want is. Okay, this... I think this is actually good. I don't think I need anything else in here. These guys useful? Yeah, they're very useful. Definitely need them. Unit is also very strong. It's just one element to this army that I'm not 100% sure on. Does work pretty well for the most part, but could run into a few problems depending on what my opponent ends up bringing, but I'm not anticipating the unit that I'm thinking of, honestly. I've got a couple of other things that can kind of help against it, but really if my opponent goes for that kind of a build, he's an absolute lunatic anyways, so be very, very, very bizarre to see in the first place. What map do we want to play? Got Kassar's Cursed Oasis, Sword of the Lake, and Edge of the Darkwood. I don't actually know Sword of the Lake at all. Oh, it's got a big pool of water in the middle of the map. Oh, and this is the one with the forests on both sides. Objectives off to the edges. Do we ban Edge of the... I don't think we ban Edge of the Darkwood. I think we're going to ban Sword of the Lake. Whatever my opponent picks, we'll be happy with. Okay, and he wants to play Kassar's. He needs to swap the map. Alright. I really don't mind Kassar's against Wood Elves. Swap back over. It's a decent enough map. There's a little shot blocker in the middle of it. You can actually hide single entities behind. I might be able to do that with one in particular that I've got in my back pocket. He went for a really teeny tiny army, so it's probably a bunch of Way Watchers if I had to guess. Or something along those lines. These guys cannot hide in here. Ugh, come on. Is there any space for me to hide these dudes? Doesn't really seem like it. Hide them all the way back here, but I don't really want to do that. Just keep them in these trees for the time being. Maybe the hounds can fit in here. No, they also cannot hide. R.I.P., man. It's kind of nice when you're able to bury the lead on where some of your units are at the beginning of the game, but that doesn't really seem to be an option. It works a little bit better on the other side, typically. Those bigger patches of trees are some pretty good spots to hang out and do some shenanigans. These guys are going to be in group 2, 3, 4, and 5 for all the mobility. We don't really have any arrow catchers, which is a problem. I went for quicker infantry, actually. The Forsaken, I brought some Chaos Knights and stuff. If we have to just sit and hold on the objectives, that's where it'll be actually a little bit more painful, because I was thinking he would go for a very, like, wide Glade Guard line, and this build I've had a lot of success with against Glade Guard, specifically. A really small number of Way Watchers with a bunch of mobility behind it is going to be a little bit trickier for me to deal with. But I don't think this is outside the realm of possibility. We'll just see about it. I mean, Potato can always surprise us, and Wood Elves are just a tough matchup, so I need to be, I just need to be careful. Some of the Chaos Knights wherever my opponent doesn't have a huge presence and try to grab points. Actually, leave the Flesh Hounds out over here. And just have both of the little houndies grab the number 1. He may have brought the Sisters of Twilight, who are actually pretty decent against Khorne. He's got Race to the Frozen Heart over here. Actually brought a bunch of Blade Singers. Oh my god. He actually went for this, he actually did go for the build that I was actually a little bit, worried about. I didn't think I would see a Blade Singer rush. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He does have all 7 units out on the field, so he doesn't have any missiles hiding anywhere. This is honestly fine. Valkia is actually pretty damn good against some of these units that my opponent's going for. This Forsaken can actually kind of rip and tear through him. Valkia has Sleipnir. Sleipnir actually just annihilates Blade Singers. If they get blobbed up and hit by it, they will get absolutely shit-canned. So that's kind of what we're going to be going for. We're just going to have our Furies and stuff kind of hovering overhead. We're going to send our units over to try and kill these guys. Charge here, hold here. Might even be able to get a double Sleipnir on these dudes. And just totally destroy them here. This is going to hurt them so freaking bad. Oh my god. Filthy damage. So you can see he's going for the Earthbloods and some other stuff. We're gonna use Karanak to get after the unit over here. We're gonna get around the back there. We're gonna save up for some more stuff, and we're just gonna commit here. The Hounds now. Just need to lock down the caster. I've been a little slow on some of this stuff, but it's not that big of a deal. Wild Hunters of Kurnus are on the way in. We're going to bring out my Hounds of the Blood Hunt, actually. We have actually just annihilated most of the Blade Singers already. They have gotten absolutely rolled here. Let's get off these guys for the time being. Let's get after Orion, actually. He's up in the air. Doggies to get after these guys. Crush these dudes. Let's actually use the Hounds here to chase down the caster. Because the caster is routing, which is amazing for me. We're going to use my next Sleipnir to hit this pocket of infantry that's still holding on for dear life. And Karanak's going to kill Orion because he's locking out his ability to use magic in any meaningful way. Get the hammer there, get off this. And I'm going to save up for my Chaos Knight. The Zotes we're just going to ignore. And we killed the shit out of Orion, which is really fucking funny. Oh my god, dude. We're just steamrolling people right now. That is another god-awful quick game. Holy hell. We need to watch that replay, because I think Valkia, no shit, got about 800 value off of the one Sleipnir that I got to use. It was disgusting. Absolutely filthy. The Blade Singers just literally vanished in the blink of an eye. They got completely destroyed by it. And we just wrecked Orion with Karanak and Valkia together. You know, I used Karanak to get after the Spell Singer first, and then Valkia was just occupying Orion. Once Karanak was free to rotate over, he just finished him up. Rangeless we respect. I mean, it's a plan against Khorne. Oh my god. I don't know. I've never had a problem with Potato Devils, but, you know, I'm not going to speak on his character, because he's mostly just been GG whenever we've played. I just want to see the Sloughnir, because it was gross.
We have a victory point. Keep it from the foe.
I didn't think I was going to be able to hit both of the Blade Singers that my opponent had here. That really was just kind of fortuitous. Because originally I was going to just pull back this other Marauder. It's a nice little combo. You can see I give the charge order. These guys, you know, they're slowed from Awakening the Wood, and then I realized here that there was an opportunity to get them both lined up, and I just went for it, and it was just perfect. Oh my god. I mean, Valkia got 1,000 value. She literally hasn't even done anything except that. That one Sleipnir. What? That's probably the most value I've ever gotten out of that. That is just, that's hideous. That's pretty hard to recover from, man. I mean, those Blade Singers cost like 1,300 gold. Yeah, 1,200 for these guys just to get shit canned immediately. You really hate to see it. My opponent really wanted to do a grind build against me. You know, I brought Karanak, thinking that I could get after any, like, Spell Singers or, Waystalkers, who are pretty common at times, Brain Traits and whatnot, or a Glady or something. I really wasn't expecting Orion. Orion's actually pretty good against Karanak. Cloak of Aisha pops, regardless of being silenced or not, but Karanak does have good, damage values, but sometimes he can struggle to finish Orion just because this guy is unbreakable. And he can sometimes outlast Karanak in a 1v1, but that's why I used Valkia to attack him first. Because Valkia just flew in there, and she is pretty good against those kinds of characters. She's also infantry-sized. So Orion doesn't get his bonus against her like he does against Karanak, where he's just gonna absolutely macerate the doggy. With Karanak being fairly healthy, he was actually able to just get a much easier engagement where he was able to finish him off pretty fast. So I really loved that. We just kind of got the dream scenario for the opening fight, dude. What's up, Castle? Well, we've finished early again, so I guess we can go watch maybe one of the other games that I've got saved here that I haven't gotten to show off. Oh, yeah, this is from another tournament. From a few days ago. This is the same tournament from when I, yesterday, for my first game on stream, I was showing off a replay against Knipes. This game is from that same tournament. This is my second match, playing Khorne versus High Elves. My opponent went for a pretty interesting build. He's got Teclis here, Teclis with, you know, all the magic in the world. He is actually pretty strong against Khorne. He's really good at fighting Skulltaker, actually. You do some pretty wicked damage to him. But I didn't go for that. I actually brought Arbol. Arbol's actually hiding in the trees right now. You can see him hidden. It's kind of cheesy to be able to hide your lords like this. I've got a Fury. Furies are just always good. I really like having early Furies against a lot of factions, but especially against elf factions, because Furies just rip apart their skirmishers. So we're just flying them around in the forest here, avoiding the Illyrian Reavers. Now Teclis is trying to peck at them. Peckless is, you know, getting a few model kills, but nothing too serious. Skullcrusher's getting skirmished, you know, that's really the right call. They've got a lot of armor, but these guys do have decent AP. It's only a bronze shield, so they're poking through him. He is shooting up my Chaos Warrior Halberds a little bit here. The Oceanids are not going to have a very good engagement here, though, because they don't do a lot of armor-piercing damage. And their melee attack is fairly low, even with the bonus versus infantry. So the Chaos Warriors are going to hold up here pretty nicely. They're trying to push past, but, you know, I give them the order to just sit here and fight the Oceanids. And guess who it is? We got Karnak again. Karnak at home is coming around, and I figured that my opponent didn't know that I had Arball because he had been hiding over here for so long. I thought maybe I could, like, sneak him past and get around the back here and maybe get a nice little collapse onto the back of one of these characters with a good timing from Karnak on Prey of the Blood God or something. You can see my opponent does notice with Teclis, and he gives him an order to actually turn around and move. But then he drops it, trying to attack, and then Karnak just gets a nice, clean engagement against him. And Teclis doesn't have a lot of armor. He's good against armor-piercing. He's good against Skull Taker and the like, obviously, because he's got heals. But Karnak rushing in here with the brass collars completely locking out his magic right now and gets a nice little bit of damage on him. Plus here my opponent's trying to maneuver his Illyrian Reaver archers around, and they do get dove on by the Blood Shrine and the Furies here. And he's got to commit them because he needs something to actually be able to keep Teclis from getting locked down here by Karnak. Using a Chaos Warrior here just to push far forward and hold some ground so that my opponent's Reaver Cavalry can't just get back here and just poke away at my Halberds and Skullcrushers, who are engaged in pretty good fights right now. Skullcrushers have completely surrounded the Frostark Phoenix and are currently ripping them up. You heard the Fury of the Blood God popping over here. That's what did all this damage to the Illyrian Reavers, actually. Fury of the Blood God's really strong against Cav, because they bunch up really tightly around Arball, because he's such a small little guy. I mean, at least comparatively on this Fleshhound. If you use this with some good timing on it, you can get some wicked value, even on elite cavalry. Little bit of a painful situation here, though. Teclis is going to drop a wicked powerful Chain Lightning. I mean, just absolutely ripping my Halberds to bits right now. You can see he's got the Sword of Teclis active, and I believe he overcast this with Greater Arcane Conduit, so this Chain Lightning is hitting for, like, plus 60%, so you can forget about the spell res. I mean, it's keeping these Halberds somewhat in the fight, but they're definitely, yeah. You can see there's not much left in the center of that cast. And, like, most of the unit just drops instantly. And my Skullcrushers get roasted a little bit as well. But they're still scrapping in here and doing good damage. They're hanging out with Karnak to try and take down the Oceanids and the Frostark Phoenix, who's very, very trapped up. So a decent situation for me overall. And I don't mind having Bloodletters fighting the Fireborn. Bloodletters are actually pretty good against cavalry. Especially heavily armored cav, like the Fireborn are, because these guys get around Fizz Res with their magic damage, so stuff like the Fireborn are suffering a little bit more than they otherwise would. And the lack of fire damage is actually helping them out a lot here. Plus, I've got the Blood Shrine in. Blood Shrines just have a lot of weapon strength, so when they do hit the Fireborn models, they actually are able to take individual Fireborn models down, which is great against factions that use Earthblood, because you can't resurrect models with Earthblood. Every dead Fireborn makes the healing less effective, so I'm really happy with that situation. We get away scot-free for the most part, and we've already gotten a little bit of a value later on our opponent as a result, and you can see Karanak actually helping rip apart that Oceanid pretty quickly, and then the Frostheart Phoenix not looking very good. It's on death's bed here. And the Frostheart Phoenixes don't have the 50-50 heal. So it's actually fine to disengage from them when they're at low health, because they'll just rat off the field, basically. I mean, this thing could rally, and Teclis could get a regrowth on it, but I'm not really too worried about the Frostheart Phoenix, because the idea behind bringing this here for my opponent was that it would be able to help goon Skulltaker. Arball's a little hard to close on with 95 speed. He is just crazy fast. I really don't mind him just running around and dealing with multiple like combat units, because they're just really not nearly as threatening to him, because I can always run away. Skulltaker is a little too slow to run away from Teclis and the Phoenix, but he unsummons the Phoenix. My Warriors and Bloodletters are just, you know, being aggro against the Illyrian Reaver Cav, and they're pretty beat up. I mean, most of them are on fairly low health here. I basically took one out completely. And my opponent's going to start unsummoning these other three. One of them actually has a decent amount of ammo left. You can see the unsummon drops on one of them. I'm not entirely sure why. But he's going to be gearing up for round 2. I mean, he's got pretty decent value, honestly. And he drops a beautiful net of Amontok with the Bound Fiery Convocation coming in now. And you can see, nice little bit of damage on the Forsaken. Takes down about half their HP almost. A little bit shy of 3,000 health off of those guys. Not the worst thing in the world. I tried to use Karanak to stop him from getting that regrowth off, but it procs anyways. Opponent finally unsummons that Illyrian Reaver. And you can see he's gearing up for the attack over here. I rotated my units around. Skull Crushers are pretty quick. Can always bring him back over fairly fast. I don't want to leave my points vulnerable to being capped away from me. And over here, I've just got this beat-up Marauder with the Blood Shrine and the Blood Beast. All of these guys together actually are just wicked strong in tandem. So the Fireborn, they take the fight. The Blood Shrine and the Blood Beast immediately start piling in, and you can see them starting to pound some HP off of the Fireborn here. Not doing too bad, definitely taking a little bit of damage here. But with all three of these units stacked together, the damage is spread out very evenly, so it's really not that great of a fight. And I'm just pushing my beat-up Skull Crusher past, so that way I can just get the rear charge on this fight and crush them. Karanak's going to rotate around. I'm looking for an opportunity to get after this Life Mage, because he is acting as a mana battery. He's already used all the Starwood Stabs, which is annoying, but does have the Book of Hoeth on him, so he's trying to get power recharge going. Just really don't want to let that happen. Some throwing axes come in. I get them a little too far forward, but now they're just going to throw at the Fireborn here. And you can see the Skull Crushers in the back of these guys are just really chewing them apart, so... and my opponent had a ton of buffs popped on these guys. He's dropping Flocks of Doom and all kinds of other shenanigans. It's just a shame that the Peckless pick didn't pay off for him, because there's really not anything for him to dive safely. Skulltaker is a little tough for him, but usually the 2v1 with the Phoenix and another character is enough to take him down. Like I said, Arball is just a completely different situation, though. So we got a nice little win out of that one. All right, our next round opponents. Is this our next round opponent? That round end already? Late to the party again. Whoops. Okay. That's all right. We're here within 10 minutes, so let me invite my opponent and bring him over. Yeah, Azir has been playing a lot of High Elves lately. He's normally playing Bretonia, so seeing him on High Elves was a little bit of a shock. I was a little surprised to see him playing those guys. He did pretty well. I just don't know if the Oceanids are really a choice against Khorne. Khorne has a lot of magic damage as is, and Oceanids are just very weak without their 30% physical resistance. Where the hell are they? Yeah, here they are. They just don't do well when they can't have this procced and active. And fire resistance really isn't that great against Khorne either, because while there are fire damage units, none of them are really ones that you'd be using against Oceanids anyways. Like, Exalted Bloodletters would be a no-no. Chosen would be fine. I mean, the Oceanids would just hold them up for ages, though, so you really wouldn't want to engage there with them. And stuff like Bloodwake Berserkers, even though these guys do have flaming attacks, they've got the magic damage, so they're still getting around one of the resistances, plus they lower armor. They'll just chew through the Oceanids anyways, because their stats are just ridiculous, so the, like, 54 melee defense for the Oceanids doesn't even matter at that point. Plus, you gotta deal with stuff like Furies and Fleshhounds, who are actually pretty good against lightly armored monstrous units. Stuff like Rat Ogres, it's kind of weird to compare Oceanids to Rat Ogres, but it's a similar, like, process where Rat Ogres are very strong against more expensive units, and oftentimes are good against other mobile units, but high weapon strength and high charge bonus mobility tends to really shred through them, and it's very similar for Oceanids in that respect. They just can't withstand Furies and Fleshhounds landing on top of them. I actually don't know how Oceanids would do against Minotaurs, but I don't imagine that would even be all that good, because Minotaurs just hit really hard, so they don't mind punching through physical resistance. I talked about it a while back, but I think Oceanids would be good against Horde factions. I actually think Greenskins are a pretty good matchup for the Oceanids, because they can just sit on top of goblins and orc boys and rip them apart slowly over time. What tourney are you playing right now? I'm in the I'm in Adler's SFT right now. Just been running through this one so far. I've had some pretty wicked quick games. We'll see how this one goes. I really do like ladder for the most part, Rost. And it's good to know that guys like Azir are out there playing on it, so that there's like some stiff competition and also just some really cool guys on it, because, you know, ladder in any game, even in this game, can get a little bit toxic at times. It doesn't help that you cannot communicate with people on ladder at all. It's super annoying. You know, the UK is one of those countries that is just not very good when it comes to passing legislation for moderating online safety for people, so they basically incentivize companies like CA to just remove chat features entirely, which I think just makes things worse. I don't think it actually protects anyone at all. But whatever, it's their business, I guess. I really wish it were, I really wish they could figure something out, though, so that, they can make multiplayer a little bit more of a community-focused thing, because it's so fun. You know, Turin is really the guy who, like, brought it all together, and if we didn't have Total Tavern, and the, like, clan discords that we had, there wouldn't even be a multiplayer community. It would just have never really turned into something that it is. And it's a little frustrating that CA just doesn't really seem to respect the multiplayer side of stuff outside of when they're, like, you know, releasing new DLC, and then they're like, oh, yeah, these guys exist, let's throw them a bone every now and then. My top of bracket. Keep getting too involved in all these conversations. Yeah, I'm banning again, man. Damn. I want to be able to pick the map. I think we're gonna ban, we're gonna ban Haunted Vale because it's a little bit smaller than Hashit's Oil Fields, and Pit of Treasures I have never even seen. I think this might even be, like, new. It does look pretty big. This looks interesting. I wouldn't mind playing on this. Okay, he's gonna play Hashit's. Hashit's Oil Fields is really a nice map for me. It is massive. It's gonna give me a huge edge in the mobility game. He's got, like, he can bring all the orc biggins that he wants. I'm really not that fussed, though, because Khorne does have really good, units to kind of hammer against those guys. We're gonna get one of these, and do we want to bring foot characters? I don't necessarily think we do. We might actually bring Big Monkey, though. With Kill for Khorne, because he's cheap and he hits really freaking hard. And we'll do several Khorne Gores here, a couple Bloodletter, although we've got the Skull Cannon. Skull Cannon's going to be our counter to Black Orcs. So I think we actually do some Chaos Warrior stuff here. And when you bring Skull Cannons, it's really nice to bring a Halberd Warrior so that it can sit inside this Halberd if your opponent's trying to close on it. Because that just basically completely nullifies your opponent's ability to engage on it in any way whatsoever. Which is really damn good. We're going to bring a Blood Shrine. We'll get a couple more Marauders in here. I guess we'll upgrade this to a Fury. Why not? Another Fury here. Fleshhounds can be okay. I don't think we're going to go for any of them, though. Couple Minotaurs. Maybe a Blood Beast. Maybe Sila's just too much. I think he might actually be a little prohibitive for filling out the rest of my army. If I'm really thinking about this objectively. Warhounds are quick cap weight, but we got all these Khorne Gores, so I don't really think I need to go any deeper on that. Go with a Forsaken, maybe. What is a Forsaken going to even be good against? Actually think we'll bring a Bloodletter instead. Dual weapon and a Bloodletter will be nice. Then we're just going pretty heavy on defensiveness. We're going to play off of 2 points. And I know which 2 points we're going to be fighting over too, so we're going to try and take advantage of it. Valkia, I'm just bringing because she's just my favorite character. I love her to death. She's strong. Really, really strong. As long as you're not just, you know, unga bunga diving her into the middle of like 50 units. Yeah, the 40k is going to be a massive increase in the number of people, I think, because 40k is just more popular than fantasy. Honestly, I think that the reason that the fantasy Total War games got as big as they are is because they've just been going for a while, and it's fairly high quality. For all the problems this game has, they have never been nearly as bad as with, like, some of the other Total War games. Like, Empire Total War was a complete disaster when it came out. It never even really got fixed. And Rome 2 was as bad as Empire was on release. They did eventually fix Rome 2, though. But, you know, it's just been a little bit up and down at times. Total Warhammer for the most part has been pretty consistent. And I know people were not happy about the early days of Warhammer 3 because they didn't include Immortal Empires on launch, which was a huge mistake, but at the very least, it was, like, high enough quality that the problems that were there were pretty quickly smoothed over once they actually launched the rest of it. And it's mostly just been, like, controversies with, like, DLC and what they do and don't include. You know? I feel fairly confident that CA, especially after Shadows of Change, is going to be a little bit more mindful about what they need to be doing for the long-term health of the series. I didn't mean to ready up like that. Oh, he's ready anyways. Okay, we're going to start moving up. There are Black Orcs. There's also a Colossal Squig. We're going to be careful about this. I think we'll be alright. Let's get up on this point and grab it real quick. We can maneuver over and chunk at the Black Orcs a little bit. And Savage Orc Airboys are pretty vulnerable to Furies. We might actually rotate our army over to this far side objective, though. And could start setting up over there by bringing in a Minotaur or something. Oh man, that's actually a big mistake on my part. This is okay. I think we'll be able to save this Skull Cannon. I've made a very big error here. This is gonna wear off fairly quickly though. I think we can just run this thing away. Oh, he gets the Tormentor Sword off. Is he gonna go after Valkia? He's just gonna keep attacking the Skull Cannon, actually. See if we can bait this thing deep in here. It's a good disengagement, honestly. But throwing axes should be able to get some pretty good damage on this thing. Might be able to even rampage it. See my opponent's going all the way around. It's not that big of a deal that the Skull Cannon took some damage here. We'll be fine. We're going to just get it shooting. We're going to hit the Black Orcs with our shots here. We got Goblin Spears over there. And we just need to keep an eye on these Marauders. We're going to keep them on the back of the objective there. Rotate over. Let's see if my opponent's paying attention. Furies can actually rip apart pump wagons pretty nicely. And just see where he ends up going. The more spread out my opponent gets, the better for us. Alright, that's actually going to go really nicely. Fury should be able to kill the pump wagon, and then we can just do some other shenanigans here. Yes! Die, pump wagon. We're actually going to get positioned up. My opponent's going to just be running away from me for the most part. It's not being very brave right now. More Black Orcs. We'll get a Blood Shrine on this side over here. That'll keep them in the fight really nicely. Just get up in the air. We've got a Chaos Warrior over here now. We're going to maneuver over. We're going to try and poke Black Orcs with our throwing axes. So my opponent's trying to position around. Doing some damage here. We're going to get in over here. Yeah, pump wagons are going to try and come over here now and do damage to me. Archers are opening up. Chaos Warriors are moving forward. Minotaurs are going to position here and look real scary and mean and aggressive. Let's get away from this. Because I think my opponent's going to try and hit my shrine over here. Next. Don't want to land Valkia in there right now. Shoot the Rugloods for a second. We actually have a little bit of an avenue to maybe attack here. Oh, we're getting spear. Oh, he's got a river troll hag back here. We can just go fight her. I'm not really that worried about that. Moving over there. Move up. We're not gonna attack these guys just yet. See, Valkia is just ripping her up right now. Got a really nice engagement there against me. But our Minotaurs are starting to rip up this Colossal Squig, and we're gonna get Corngors over here and maybe be able to finish that thing off really fast. It's a nice use out of that. Pop this here. Sloupnir, a little too far away to use it, actually. Let's get up over here. Kill those. Colossal Squig's almost dead. We've got the Orc boys here that we're running over. And my throwing axes can actually aggressively dive the archers. Truthfully. They're really not going to do too badly there. We're just going to pop our horn here and try and get as much value on that as possible. We got a really nice break on these guys. Let's try and get my horsemen out of here now. I'll just run them away. Black Orcs are grinding against me and doing some good damage. We're going to get up a Bloodletter so that we can deal with this other Black Orc that's over here. We're going to go deep in here. Just pause here for the time being. I'm going to move over with my horsemen so that they can link up with my forces, and we'll re-grab this point. We might not do too well here in the middle. So that is quite a bit that's on the way in here against my Minotaurs. I'm going to try and pull these guys out. Just have these guys fight here. Skull Cannon, I'm going to try and get away from this engagement. Some of this stuff is really not going to do too badly. We're actually going to drop Sloupnir here because it will finish the Rugleds, I think. Really close to finishing them. We got a huge win out on this flank. So we're going to leave the beat up units here. Bring everything else over. Start trying to grind through this. Valky's doing her thing. We'll get a Corngor up and out. My opponent's slowly grabbing this point, but we can send a Fury over there. It's an Orc boy fighting against some of my guys, which I'm really not too fussed about. He actually lost his character over there a little bit funkily. We're gonna charge here and just run away. He's gonna follow me here. We're gonna use all of our units to just go deep against these guys. So this really isn't a bad fight for me. Move over, get over here. Yeah, Fury to save these guys out on that flank. I think we're actually gonna save up for a sword here. Sword of Corn is actually going to do some hideous damage to my opponent when I drop it. And the Halberds, they just sucked up a ton of my opponent's attention and time. So, there's definitely been a few fights that have not really gone all that well, but we're grinding down the last of these Black Orcs. Killed the Savage Orcs. There's a few more Air Boys running around the field, and the Crimson Killas are out here. We did lose my Skull Cannon, which is rough. I wish the Skull Cannon were still around. But I can always resummon that, but I'm going to get the Blood Beasts first, and then we'll get the other stuff out after. Horsemen, both of the Horsemen are going to go over to the side point. Pull the Minotaurs back. Alright, now watch what we're going to do here. We're going to unsummon these guys first of all. And unsummon them. Blood Beasts are gonna chill. We're gonna get our Furies over. Oh, I actually don't even need my Horsemen over here, so we're actually gonna pull them away. Chaos Warriors are just gonna hang out on this point.
Taking action.
Pull these guys back. What is that, an Orc Boy? Orc Boy, not that scary. We get the Skull Cannon up. Can start shooting the Crimson Killers. We're gonna actually attack here. Oh, he's going for Tormentor's Sword. So let's actually pull back for a moment. Yeah, it's a really nice Tormentor's Sword. I keep forgetting about it, honestly. He's done a pretty good job of utilizing it, though. Don't want all of our units lumped up on these guys. What do we want to drop? Actually, I'm going to drop this here. Sword of Corn, we're going to just annihilate the Crimson Killers with. You see, the Crimson Killers are actually getting melted here pretty badly as is. Grabbed it. Opponent's down pretty bad in value. He's retaking the side point. That's what a Corngore is for. Corngore versus Orc Boys and some other kind of mid units are really not anything too dangerous. And if the Night Goblin War Boss wants to fight here, that's fine. I'm really not that worried about it. He brought the River Troll Hag in again. I don't see that going very well for him, to be quite honest. Alright, that was a pretty messy game, but, I mean, outside of the early fumbling with the Skull Cannon, we did pretty good. We did wear out the Black Orcs without them getting a lot of value. Really, none of his stuff got its value back. I mean, the Black Orcs are pretty inefficient. Savage Orc Air Boys kind of paid for themselves. Rugloods didn't quite. Neither did the Squig. His Lord didn't even do any damage. Just never engaged with them. River Troll Hag didn't do much. Man, oh man. Pump Wagons were alright, but not even they were all that grand at the end of the day. Throwing Axes were just nasty. Furies were strong. They got some good work done. And my Minotaurs were just bulldozing for a lot of that game. And the Blood Shrines are really, really good. Just basic old Blood Shrines can do so much to carry for you. No R-Ball. Yeah, no R-Ball this time. And yeah, Kentama's on the nose with it. Skull Taker won the new player tournament the other day. It's GG. It was a well-played game from our opponent, but the lack of mobility really hurt him. I was just able to spread his whole formation out. Eventually, all of that infantry just gets spread apart. They're not able to concentrate when you actually dive, and that's where Corrin starts to really rip your units apart. Dual weapons alone, man. The throwing axes with the dual weapons are so ferocious in melee combat, it is honestly kind of crazy. They've got some vulnerabilities for sure. Not having a shield like other throwing axes hurts. But, hey. I'll take the combat potential and the mild weakness to arrows any day of the week, just for the ability to, like, nuke low armor units out of existence. It's really nice. Kentama, you've won a new player tournament. It's funny that you won on Lizardmen, but haven't won a new player tournament on Beastmen, who ostensibly are a stronger faction. I really do love your Beastmen play, but I do actually think you're a better player on Lizardmen. Probably just because you have more experience with them. But the Lizardmen seem to be the faction that you synergize the most with, you know? How many did... You have lost, like, 2. But, hey, you know, it's better to make it to the Super Bowl than to never make it there at all, you know? Who wants to be a poverty franchise? I'd rather lose the big game than not even get there. Ask Minnesota Vikings fans how they feel about the Super Bowl, though. I'm sure they'll give you a very different answer from what I have. Alright, we're going up against Outer Region, who's on God knows what. I don't even know what faction he's playing today. Can we get the win? God, no, I didn't mean to click on that. Please, Microsoft Teams, die. I don't know why I can't unpin Microsoft Teams from my taskbar. Please go away. Oh my god. Like, I unpin it, and then they put it back on. Whenever I boot my computer back up. Like, I'm getting paranoid about Microsoft. Oh, he's on Skaven. Okay. Skaven v. Korn. I've played this matchup a decent amount. And we actually watched it in the finals. Just yesterday. I really don't know what Outer Region is going to be going for. Because Outer is just a really, really great player. He could just catch me completely off guard with something. And roll me. Because all Skaven need is like one good volley of fire from a weapon team to just put you in the pits. You know? And be like a turtle on your back. With no way out. And God, we got a ban again. I just want to pick the map for one game, dude. I think we banned Dust Bowl because that is a stupidly flat map, and it's not even that big actually. Again, this is another faction that we're going up against that you want to spread out some. Bears fan? I'm a Bears fan. Don't worry about it, dude. Hey, we won a Super Bowl 40 years ago, and we'll never let anybody forget about it. So, hey, it is what it is. And we're actually good this year. We're not great, but we're good. Like, the first-year head coach, that's pretty nice to have. I'm happy with the Bears this year. I thought we were gonna be like, 5 and 11, or 6 and 11 like we were last year. Having the division lead for 1 week was a nice little treat, honestly. You know, it's like opening Christmas presents and you got some really nice socks. Like, you're not like absolutely jazzed like if you got like an Xbox or something, but definitely not gonna complain. Oh, whoops. Wrong thing. It's funny. That's crazy, though, Castle. It's always cool running into other, like, American, like, football fans. This is a cool... Holy crap, what the hell is this big fossil back there? Super terrifying. I need a minute. I need to figure out what I want to bring here. We could bring a Chaos Lord and throw. That would be pretty hilarious. I think we might actually go for Arbol in this game. I haven't used him today. I thought about bringing him a couple of times, but then ended up bringing Valkia, because Sleipnir is just really hard to pass up, but Sleipnir is not that good against Skaven. It's okay. Fury of the Blood God can actually one-shot weapon teams, though. It's pretty hilarious, actually. It does some pretty wicked damage to them. You just, like, pop it when your opponent's not expecting it, and then they're just, like, absolutely befuzzled as to what occurred. Maybe the Cultists will be good. It's really nice to go max Marauders, because they're just really strong. Chaos Warriors can be really useful. Hounds, and Throwing Axe isn't a bad way to go. I really actually prefer Skull Cannons over the Hellforge Bellers in this matchup. We're going to get that and a Shrine. Blood Shrine's, again, really strong. We can do 1 Minotaur, and then Blood Beasts. You need Mass to stop Doomflayers. Couple of Furies. Do we want Corngores, or we fill out more with? We can get 2 Corngores and a Fury, I guess. Maybe we don't bring a Skull Cannon then. What is the Skull... I mean, the Skull Cannon's there to shoot at weapon teams. I think with good dives, though, we don't even need to worry about it. Get a Bloodletter. Is another Throwing Axe going to help me out any? I actually don't think so. I'm just bringing the Throwing Axe for cap weight early and a little bit of utility. Dual Weapon Marauder. It's an awkward amount of money to have left. Ugh, so frustrating. Maybe we do 2 more Hounds. It's so deep into a Dual Weapon Warrior. Maybe just another Bloodletter. Maybe we don't bring a Shrine and we do bring a Skull Cannon. Maybe we cut a Corngore in this Minotaur and get another Blood Beast and a Blood Shrine. That actually, I think, is going to work better. We don't really need the Minotaurs. Minotaurs are, like, good in this matchup, but Blood Beasts are a little cheaper and do about the same thing. You don't really need the heavy AP and bonus versus large from these guys. Mostly because you got plenty of other answers available to you. Like, Blood Beasts fight Radaggers just fine. Utility from the Blood Shrine is really nice. One Corn Gore, I think, will be plenty, and a couple Bloodletters are really good because they do a really good job of clearing Storm Vermin. Storm Vermin hate fighting Bloodletters. You know, and your Chaos Warriors outside of, like, the super heavy weapon teams, like Jezzails and Poison Wind Globes and Avalanche Mortars, are going to be able to weather any, like, Gutter Runner fire or Slingers and all of that other low-tier, like, trash type of stuff the Skaven really like. Actually brought more units than the Skaven did. I think Outer Region's actually going for, I think he's actually going for, like, a rush build, and maybe with a little bit of grind to it. And he's not going to actually use any weapon teams. Should actually be a little rough for me. But I do think we'll be okay. We can skirmish pretty well with the Skull Cannon and the Blood Shrine, running over Storm Vermin with support. Got this Throwing Axe who can help out. We just gotta see. You know, there's no telling what exactly he's brought. He could have gone Monster Mash, even. It's not outside the realm of possibility for the Skaven to have gone that style. It's not like Marauders are really even useless against Storm Vermin, because Marauders do have pretty good melee attack. We would have to surround the Storm Vermin, and then we can work them down. But again, that's why we've got the Bloodletters here. And Blood Beasts can also hammer a little bit. Really not bad at all. Furies can fly around and just, you know, drop on top of any weapon teams and whatnot. We've got the Warhounds for that too. I think we brought a very nicely balanced build, actually. I'm feeling good about this. Let's just see what we can do against him. Outer could just stomp us, like I said. So what's he got? He's got Clan Rats here. He actually brought the Blight Scabs Plague Pack. Okay. A lot of Halberds. That's fine. Oh, and he brought Snicketch. Interesting. Okay. Snicketch he does have the Whirly-Durly ability. He's got Brittlebone here. And he does have Jezzails. He's got the Natty Boobos back there. Let's actually run Arball back to this little corner for a moment. So Snicketch will be okay against my cultists. Really not going to be bad for him. Let me bring out first. Actually want the Blood Shrine here. Let's just send this guy up there. And he's going to do the Whirly-Durly in a moment. We actually want to try and maneuver around the Skaven here. Let's get up over here. We're going to get a, Actually, we're going to get a Blood Beast in, because we see a Doomflayer already. Don't super love the idea of going toe-to-toe against that. Just trying to get around all this. That's fine. We're going to get through here. We're going to get these guys around here. Blood Beast is going to come up. He's going for defense in depth, so I don't know if that's really going to work. And my cultists got absolutely rolled here, dude. Oh my god, they just got completely shit-canned. So that's not going well at all. I'd actually kill both of those guys. Yeah, see, Outer Region's got a lot of advantage here right now. I'm actually a little too spread out for what I'm trying to do, actually. We could kill Snicketch here, potentially, although he's gonna get back in there. Damn it. All my blood shrines getting killed over here. Let's try and get this thing away. It starts crumbling. Please don't crumble. Why are you crumbling? Okay, it's gonna rally a little bit. I think I've just kind of fumbled this game, to be quite honest. This is really not going well. I think I needed to, I think Outer Regions has my number on this one. It's a very, like, solid, strong build against my, units here. I don't really have the, tools I need to, like, dive, and, my cultists are still running. I mean, they've been running all freaking game, too. Which I'm not loving. I'm very unhappy about that. A little damage on the weapon team. Not really going all that well, though. The sensor bearers are beating the crap out of me. We finally got these guys to rally, but, don't know if we're going to be able to really use their, don't know if we're going to be able to use their summon, really, to be frank. Just come over here and use this. See, a lot of my stuff is getting run down here. Not loving that. Let's use our summons to try and get back in this game, though. Just kill this guy. Because honestly, I think the Brittlebone has actually really screwed me over this game. He's actually done a lot of damage to me. That I've been able to very ill afford. I made big errors here. I made a lot of mistakes. Should not have tried to get back there. He's got one weapon team back there. It's really not that dangerous. It's just the Natty Boo sharpshooters. Honestly, if I had ignored them, I think I'd be a lot better off. But, like, I don't know, man. Maybe we can figure out something to do here. I should have gotten the, Skull Cannon in as well. Skull Cannon, instead of going for these other, really mediocre, tools that I brought, would have been, the way to go about this. We're gonna use Fury of the Blood God here, because we might as well use it somewhere. Oh, that's the fake one. Those are just a bunch of crappy ones. Bloodletter's gonna come up. See if we can start working on this. It's the Ixis Triads. Get on the back of that fight. Flare's doing okay. Marauder, the cultists are hanging out. We're grinding up a Blood for the Blood God. I'm gonna actually see what I can do to pop this and maybe nuke some of these annoying units. I don't know if I'll be able to catch Outer Region off guard with it, though, is the thing. I think he's just going to avoid this, to be quite honest. I really don't see it actually hitting all of these units. Well, it actually does. Okay, holy crap. Pretty good damage. He's gonna attack me over here. He's probably gonna be able to kill all those guys. Arball is scrapping as best he can, but he's got these Doom Flayers attacking me now. Again. And the Furies just got surrounded and killed. I need to rethink this game plan. We'll figure it out, though. I mean, it's one loss. I've been playing really well. Skaven have always been a problem faction for me. I don't know why I've always struggled against them. They've just always been really frustrating for me. Could have also stood to use my army abilities better. I've definitely used them pretty poorly here. Let's get Arbol out of here. Oh no, he's surrounded. Not like this. Arbol, please. Oh, he's screwed. He's caught. There's no way I'm gonna be able to get him out of there. R.I.P. GG. Alright, he's going to go for that style of build. I'm going to go for something a little bit better against that style next time and hope he doesn't mix the build up. Natty Bubo's got really good value, but honestly, I think I can just ignore them next time. Cultists, were not good. They didn't do well at all. And maybe I need to bring the Skull Cannon in the opener. I think I can force him out of position. The Skull Cannon's really long range. I can definitely force him off his center point. But oh well, man. Hey, it happens. Big ouch. Alright, guys. I think we might be squeaking into top 4 here regardless. Despite our hideously bad performance in that game, I actually think we're going to be okay. I'm still sitting here with some good tiebreakers. Just need to see where these other chips fall. Own Goal and Gondola are playing right now. Damn, Tim has got some damn good op points because he's played Leechlord and Lacarte. They might both be on Khorne too. Are they? What's the Khorne rep looking like today? Yeah, okay. Tim is on Norska. Tim lost to the Skaven too. Wow, okay. Skaven are looking real good this season. After the cost reductions on their Storm Vermin, suddenly a much tougher faction overall. Yeah, Lacarte is on Khorne. Oh, Leechlord is on Cathay. Alright, Grand Cathay is cool. He's doing really well on them. Hell yeah. I mean, anybody gutsy enough to play Grand Cathay has my respect. Not an easy faction to make work. I'm gonna go to the drawing board and start trying to figure out a build that will do better against the Skaven. Skull Cannons. I think I will actually bring Valkia next time, because that was a lot of Sleipnir potential that I just missed out on. I think I'll bring Bloodletters in the start, actually. And still fill out with some Marauders. Maybe less Marauders is the way to go as well. 2 Marauder Horsemen. I still think I want to bring a bunch of Blood Beasts. I think I can actually fit this in here. Yeah. You know what? I think we just do all Bloodletters next time. Upvet the Skull Cannon in our starting army. 1 more Fury. A couple of Forsaken. Fleshhound for a little bit more mass. What about 1 more Fleshhound? Is this a bad idea? Maybe. A lot of Bloodletters. I think 1 Skull Cannon's enough to shoot at weapon teams. Can still do good damage from afar. And I do think that having the Warhounds isn't bad. I mean, they really can just rush in and light up some cheap Skaven units and really put them on notice. Try that next time. The Hellforged Bellers wouldn't be bad. It's just that the Natty Vuba Sharpshooters are going to have range on it the whole time, and that would be a little bit much. A little bit much. A lot of people dropped from the new player tournament. Send me some of your replays, Kentama. If I have some time to check them out and I'm inspired, I'll see if I can get an opportunity to maybe cast a couple. Because I'd really love to see your coast play. I'm very curious. Wow, you are not kidding, dude. It doesn't help that there's another tournament going on at the exact same time. That does tend to kind of dilute the pool of players. Alright, we're gonna just make it into the top 4. Let's see if we can get some revenge on Outer Region, or if we can somehow beat Norska. I do not love Norska's I do not love my odds against Norska. Norska is really, really tough. They have been just buffoonishly ridiculous so far. Corn's sitting here with a pretty high win rate against them. I'm the only Corn player to have lost against Skaven now, apparently. Yeah, Norska with is 6-11, or sorry, 11-6 against Corn right now. Ouch. That's scary. So Skaven are dominating a few factions right now. They don't really have that many games played on them. Their win rate's also a little low. Losing to Bretonia, Wood Elves, Lizardmen, Cathay, Dwarfs, Corn, Beastmen, Zinch, Dark Elves, Norska. If I just deny a straight-up fight to that build from Outer Region next time, I'll be fine. Just rushing it down was an awful decision. Kind of in stomps. Oh, Zinch again. Yeah, Zinch against... Oh my god, I can't even imagine trying to play that one. Yeah, Zinch vs. Vampire Coast, I don't see going very well for Vampire Coast. There's an awful lot of stuff here that they can just bully you with, isn't there? Like, a full Zangor front line. What's your opponent bring for the Lord? A Herald? Probably. Honestly, Village might not even be bad. Which is pink fire? And blue fire? Blue fire for the deck gunners or carronades or whatever, and then you pink fire everything else. Ooh, I actually really like that. Plus you got Vessel of Chaos. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, let me know, because I'm curious what your opponent ran into Vampire Coast. I won't believe it. Alright, man. Try me. I've seen some crazy builds, guys. I'm usually not truly surprised by much of anything, because I've seen an awful lot in all my time casting. I've seen people bring just about everything under the sun. I need to save this game and go to my folder so that I can study it. Hide in the shadows and plan my vengeance. Replays. Where's the autosave? Here it is. You can see my file names are very well organized and direct. Who am I playing? Okay. I don't know who I'm playing yet. I think they might be doing a playoff for the final top 4 spot. Because I'm pretty sure Martinius and I think Realm, who we played in round 3, were tied for 3rd. Or within 1 op point of each other. Oh, it's Lacarte. Okay, Lacarte and Martinius, I think, are going to be playing it out for the final spot. I think after that we'll know where we are. What replays did we not cast from the other day? These two played in the finals. Skulltaker won in that, but did lose to Toback in the in bracket. So him coming back and winning is really cool. Love people who bring Skulltaker like maxed out. Ooh, yeah, that's right. Coast versus some Nurgle. Let's check this out, because I didn't get a chance to cast any for Brosi's games yesterday. And Fabrosi really loves Noctilus. Noctilus is a fun character. I do really enjoy watching some Hard Knock Life gameplay. Oh, the carronades. Beautiful. So we got 2 carronades opening up immediately and destroying this Marauder Horseman and Nurgle. Oh, you love to see the thump, man. Carronades have some of the best sound effects in the game. Some of the cannons sound positively wimpy, but carronades and the Grand Cathay cannons, they knew what they were doing with the sound effects on these things. It is truly awe-inspiring, honestly. Should be opening up in a second. Yeah. One shot goes wide of the mark, but to get 10 model kills, man. Oh, God, you hate to see it. It's always pretty ugly to see your skirmishers in the opening of the game just getting absolutely lit up. It stings, like, really badly. Makes you question life a little bit. You're thinking, where am I? Where am I going? What am I doing? Carronade's kind of plowing up the Marauders now. Actually, one guy here, he got nailed by the bounce on the cannon shot, which is pretty funny. Do love to see it. The Cultists advance up to the points. I don't know why they'd go without Festus. I guess Empire's a little worried about Festus being targeted by the carronades. Carronades are okay against foot characters. They're a little too inaccurate to hit them, unlike some of the other artillery pieces in the game. Some cannons are able to shoot against foot characters better than others, and the Vampire Coast version, not really their cup of tea to be going for that. I think you could have probably brought Festus forward a little bit sooner. Although I'm not so sure about Festus in this matchup, period, because Vampire Coast usually just goes for a single cap early and then value trades by punishing dives. You can see some pretty risky play coming in here for Empire. Charging down some handguns right now with his throwing axes, and the Scurvy Dogs get a great collapse on those guys. What the hell was that? Whoa, what the hell was that? Oh my god, that was a bloated corpse! He summoned it out of the reinforcement point. That was arguably not worth it at all, but that is really hilarious. He just blew this... Fabrosi blew this entire fight up with that bloated corpse. Wow. Alright. That was certainly an option. I don't know why he committed the Scurvy Dogs if he was just going to do that. Fair enough, though. That was pretty hilarious, dude. I can actually see the bloated corpses being good for that purpose alone. Like, just for summoning in the bloated corpse to go blow up, like, Furies and stuff to defend your own backline. Wow, that's cheesy stuff, but I've got to give a tip of the hat just for the sheer hilarity of what we just saw there. Beautiful Pit of Shades on the Chaos Warriors. These guys are going to get absolutely owned by this spellcast here. It is destroying the deckhand mob, which is a little painful, but honestly not that big of a deal. Way better to be working down this, like, 850 gold warrior. I think we're getting a Wraithstorm here, too. Yeah, Wraithstorm coming in. Definitely going to help finish these guys off, and actually does break the leadership on the Chaos Warriors. I do prefer to see Wraithstorm used on stuff like Marauder Horsemen, or even on Forsaken. The Wraithstorm's okay against stuff like Chaos Warriors. It does do really good explosive damage. But a lot of the real power actually comes to the range damage, like the missile landing in, killing like multiple models, because it does have like a weird profile where it spreads the damage out a little bit. And then there's the explosion, which is like a secondary blast. Get another Pit of Shades here on another Chaos Warrior. Few Forsaken getting caught in that, but really not that big of a deal for them. Most of these guys are just surviving through it. It's really the Chaos Warriors are getting hammered there. Fighting against the Mournguls too. Mournguls should be able to stem the tide here of the Forsaken. They've got a little bit of cover with the gunnery mobs overlapped on that fight. We'll see how it plays out. Here's where the real center of the fighting is, where everything is going to come down to whether or not Noctilus is able to kill Festus, and if these Mournguls are able to get some terror routes on the Marauders or not. You can see the throwing axes getting absolutely annihilated here by the Carronades. Really nice Plague Bearer summon in the back line. The Cultist is able to push back here, but he does get massacred by the hand cannons. The hand cannon summoned to defend this artillery piece in the back line has gone really swimmingly. You get the black spot out of the reinforcement point there. They're going to be trying to move forward, answering some of the aggression from Nurgle, just defending this flank on the far side. Got a very slow advance from the deckhand mob here. Chaos Warrior's going to roadblock them a little bit. This is the Chaos Warrior they got hit by the Pit of Shades earlier. Not really doing all that well. They might be able to stop the deckhand mobs for a good long while. Plus you got the throwing axes rallying before they run off the field, so they could just rock up in here and just chip away at the edge of this fight with their throwing axes. Really wouldn't be that bad. Scurvy Dog support on the way over. Got the black spot, and a Mourngull Haunter on the way in. Going to be really good against Festus and the remaining Cultist. And you do need to do something to address Festus here. He is getting an awful lot of damage off and grinding very, very effectively right now. He's got his healing elixirs on. He's been keeping a lot of these Nurgle warriors in these fights for a long time. Way longer than most Chaos factions would be able to hang in while also getting pounded by artillery and the handguns. The Mourngull Haunter can get in here and get rid of these characters, then it should be a pretty easy push right up to the points and securing a triple cap. Because Nurgle has been putting a lot into trying to push the number 3 here. They got a bunch of Pestigors over here. Fighting against polearm deckhand mobs. Not really a very efficient fight for Nurgle. Beautiful Wraithstorm to punish all this. You got the Plague Bearer summon getting hammered here. Not that that's that big of a deal, but the Furies take quite a bit of work from that too. It's just nice to be able to thin out the numbers on the summoned unit while they are here. They're going to crumble out now. It's going to leave the Furies in an even more vulnerable position. Mournguls immediately start crumbling the Furies as a result, and that's going to leave Festus wide open to the Mourngull Haunter when he realizes the opportunity. And I think this is going to be GG for old Festus. He's already a pretty poor melee combatant, and now he's frostbitten. And the chilling aura is going down on him, so he's at 11 speed. He literally just can't even move at this point. It's all but completely stuck up in there. Noctilus has actually been struggling a little bit against the Cultists, which isn't too tremendously shocking. Corn Cultists absolutely clown on Noctilus, and the Nurgle Cultists, they're not amazing by any means. Their stats are fairly weak compared to the other variants, but they do sunder armor, and they have regeneration. So they're a little bit more durable than Noctilus, actually, because unless Noctilus has Invocation and a Heck, there's not really any healing for him. He's got the Hunger, but it's pretty slow working heal. Usually he's not going to be able to heal cap just from that. So keeping him in the back line here, being well covered by his guns, is definitely the right call for Brosi right now. It's getting dangerous, though. If this back objective flips, like it very well might for the Vampire Coast, like if they lose this point, I mean, I think just that triple cap, for a few seconds even, will be able to allow Nurgle to steal a victory here. Because it's just been such a slog trying to get up to this middle point because of how many Nurgle units have been stuffing back all of the aggression. There's been a little bit of fighting from deckhand mobs on the point, but Empire's done a really good job of bringing Forsaken in to kind of clear all of that chaff up, and then just continue the strategy of getting up on the objectives and stuffing everything off. Hand cannons opening up on Festus, trying to get turned around. The Black Spot is looking to line up on the Furies, and it looks like both gun units are going for the Furies here. Really beautiful Melkoths. Excellent, excellent timing on that. Does allow the Black Spot to get one volley off, and I think that'll make the difference for the hand cannons to be able to fire in from the flank and just completely crush this Fury in one solid volley. You can see really nice damage going down. Fury's getting really low, and Demonic Instability is hit, and they're going to crumble out, and the Black Spot will survive that, which is really, really nice. Got a cap going on the middle objective, and a very slow flip coming in on the number 1. Just not quite able to secure it fast enough, though. It's looking a little scary. And the number 3 did get saved, though, which is a huge win for the Vampire Coast. And I think with this double cap secured, they've got more than enough time to be able to grind down the number 1, considering they already have units here. And it's really just a Nurgling holding it at this point. Festus is going to try and jump in the trees, move over, and provide a little bit of support here, but I don't think he's going to get there before the flip comes in. You can see it wavering, and there we go. We get the triple cap for Brosi, and this is pretty common oftentimes against the Vampire Coast, especially when you go for very aggressive pushes against them. Sometimes, like, you're counting on winning on objectives, but you gas yourself out just a little too early, and then they secure a triple cap, and they just have so much left because of how cheap all their units are, and just how persistent a lot of these gunline units can be if they're protected decently enough. And Fabrosi has done a really good job of covering for them. He's got a depth guard in over here. Harbinger of Pestilence is going to be working them down a little bit. But that's really the only thing doing damage to them. Nurglings are just not going to be cut out for beating a depth guard. And these guys do have the hunger, which is going to mitigate a little bit of that Mortis Engine damage. Make them just last that little bit longer to allow the gun units to get in on the flank here and start to really break open this fight. Another Nurgling gets in. Festus hanging in. He's got 1,600 HP, but he is starting to get dangerously low on leadership. He actually breaks. His leadership goes negative just long enough to leadership break him. That's going to get rid of the Mortis Engine, right? Oh, it's still active? Okay, I thought the, for whatever reason, I thought the Mortis Engine deactivated when he, his leadership breaks, but apparently not. Doesn't really matter, though. He's got 600 health. Mourngul Haunter could also chase him down and finish him. Mourngul Haunter got about 1,100 value, and you saw Festus's value here. 3,000. Festus was just putting the game on his back, honestly, with all those healing elixirs. Obviously, quite a bit of work with the Harbinger of Pestilence as well. But, it's kind of him against the world. You know, these Fury summons really have not been very effective for Empire. And this can happen against a critical mass of gun units. Your opponent just brings so many guns onto the field that your Furies never really get clean dives. And they just get blasted to bits. And when they do actually land, they just get immediately surrounded. Happened to me against the Skaven, honestly. And it can be really painful to watch. Festus chilling. Gunnery mobs doing their thing. Black Spot continuing to pound away. 2,000 value on that gun unit. Beautiful stuff. The other gunnery mob is getting hammered pretty badly by the Furies, but Scurvy Dogs do get in on this fight now, and they should be able to start crumbling these guys down. Very well defended, and Empire is probably going to tap in a moment. I mean, he's got nothing functional on the field even. He's literally been tabled by the end of the game here. Almost had it. The dives into the backline just didn't work. Carronades are really not that threatening in the grand scheme of things. They're an okay artillery piece, but I think if you just focused a little bit more on bringing your infantry forward, grinding in the front line with Festus and making sure that Festus stays alive, and using your throwing axes to just rush in and throw against stuff like Mournguls and the Lamprey's Revenge, maybe you have a little bit of a better time. But all of these handguns and hand cannons are a different story. These you do kind of have to deal with because they can really thump against you, and Fabrosi's gun line value is pretty gross here. 1,600, 1,000, 2,000. The Bloated Corpse got 650 value, but I promise you, it blew up about as much of his own stuff as it did the enemy. Which you do hate to see. A little bit awkward. Damn good stuff, though. We should be up on top 4 in a moment here. They were playing that tiebreaker. I can't imagine it's going to be going on much longer. Yeah, I've been playing in a tournament today, Bird. Played 3 really good games and then fumbled horrifically against Outer Region. Just being way too aggressive. You know, but we still snuck into top 4. We're just waiting on the tiebreaker round for the last spot, and then we'll be in those games. And I'm just playing until I lose, so if we make it through semis, great. If not, that's also fine. I'd really like to, but not really counting on it necessarily. I'm definitely feeling a lot more on top of my micro than when the DLC first came out, and I was still fumbling around a little bit, but I'm still not quite 100%. I'm making some pretty silly mistakes in a couple of games that I've gotten punished for. And we're going to be playing Martinius here. Okay. Hell yeah. Let's go find him. Martinius and I have been going back and forth quite a bit lately. Not sure who he's playing. Oh, Martinius is on Tomb Kings. Ah, interesting. Khorne Tomb Kings is a little bit foreboding for the Tomb Kings, to be quite honest. They've definitely got some stuff that they can use pretty effectively against you, but Khorne has some really stalwart units to be able to throw out against them as well. We'll just see what we can make happen here. So Martinius definitely plays some off-meta stuff every now and then. Trying to over-prepare for a very standard Tomb Kings build could get me punished. I also don't want to psych myself out and start bringing a bunch of really bizarre counter-type units myself. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, and I'll be right back. And then we'll be picking, and we'll get underway. Alright, be right back, guys. Holy. Alright, I'm back. Dude, my legs are so freaking sore from the gym today. They're weak. The body is weak, man. Yeah, we're playing some corn today, Bird. It's been going pretty good. Outside of the one match that I played myself so badly. It just was a complete catastrophe. I think if we get the rematch, though, I know what I'm going to be doing next time, and we'll have a pretty good workaround against the Skaven. I'm not going to let Outer Region beat up on me the same way 2 times. What are the maps here? So, Crystal Lake, Lost Temple of Sotek, and Norscan Rise. There's a lot of tree cover on all these maps. Which is going to be a little bit better for me than it is for Martinius. I've got a ban. I need to check something real quick, because I don't actually remember if Lost Temple of Sotek is a split-pushing map, or if it has home objectives. Because that will change my ban quite a bit, depending on what it looks like. Okay, there is a home objective here. I really don't want to have to deal with the Tomb Kings on a map with a home objective, honestly. So we're going to ban Temple of Sotek, and we'll just play on either Crystal Lake or whatever the other one is. I don't even care at this point. Norscan Rise, that was the other. Honestly, I think Norscan Rise would be a little bit better for me, because there's a lot of terrain pieces on this map. Yeah, Crystal Lake is going to be the choice for Martinius, but we do have a nice tree line to play out of with our units, if need be. What are we going to go Lords-wise, though? Could get really silly. I think that the Tomb Kings are just gonna hard counter that guy anyways, to be honest. I'm gonna go with my old standby against the Tomb Kings. I've had a lot of success with Valkia and Scylla against these guys. We'll get a couple Chaos Warriors, but also some Marauders, a couple Korngors in reserve. And Forsaken can be really powerful against Tomb Kings, because they've got a lot of armor. Plus they have immune to psychology, which can be very, very nice for fighting with big, scary, monstrous type units around them. They can get a little bit of work done regardless of what might be standing near them trying to run them off the battlefield. Minotaurs are good. I think I'm going to bring a Skull Crusher here, though. With one Minotaur to back them up. The Blood Shrine. Furies. As per usual. Probably just 3 Furies. Hounds are really not good against undead. They can do okay damage to some of the horsemen, but really, if your opponent's smart, they just charge the hounds, and they break the hounds' leadership below 50%, and then these guys just run away. Because then they're affected by fear, and that just ruins them. They hate it. They cannot... they just cannot stand it. They can't abide, dude. Brutes the Hound are too vulnerable. It's a skirmish play. Chosen are a little too expensive, and then you've got to also contend with the possibility of your opponent bringing, oh, what the hell are they called? The Necrosphinxes. Maybe Arball is the right call. Is there anything I can afford to downgrade here? Yeah, just to get Eye of Corn on the field. It is a little shady. I don't love that. Get rid of both of my Forsaken, get another Throwing Axe and a Flesh Hound out. Honestly, I think this will be alright. I think I want Eye of Corn because if my opponent brings the Sphinx of Uzkef, who really is a pretty common choice, I can use this to execute it if it gets to 20% HP. And then the Spawn Summon really isn't bad at all, just period. It's actually pretty useful. Sleipnir's not that great against undead either. She's also very likely to get blobbed up on by horsemen. And Fury of the Blood God can punish light cavalry pretty freaking hard, as I mentioned earlier in the stream. I think we're just going to run this and see what we can do. I'm not going to be overthinking it from here. I like what I've got. We'll just run it and see how it does. If we win, then we win, and we get to play finals. If we lose, then we've got, then we've learned some hard lessons. And we'll try to adjust from there. See Berserk pull out the Skull Reaper. I didn't actually get to watch the tournament yesterday. I really want to, though. I'm probably going to do that after watching a little bit of football. After I get off stream. What's the Skull Reaper tech? What the fuck is this? What is this army? Martinius with 8 units. Okay. Alright, alright, alright. What did he bring then? This man is an absolute lunatic, I swear. Look, whatever he's got, I'm sure I'll be able to find some way to counter it, right? When I've got some pretty decent infantry, I've got Forsaken and Corngores, I've got Skull Crushers. Skull Crushers I'm going to get in early. Probably going to need them early, seeing as it's an 8-unit army. It might just be Max Kite and, like, Chariot spam or something. Are Chariots good against Khorne? I don't actually know if the Chariots would even really be all that good. Router Horseman throwing axes can actually beat the Chariots up pretty bad. He's probably going to go for, like, double Kitty Cat with some, Horse Archers in the opener. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. This is bizarre. This is crazy business. It's like barely anything on the field for my opponent here. Okay, he did bring Sphinx of Uzkef, and he's got Cetra on the Kitty Cat. Restless Dead, Neru's, Jaffs. Chosen of the Gods. He just went with a bunch of Nehekara Warriors. Okay. Sure. We're gonna actually go bully the Nehekara Warriors a little bit. We can screen the Chosen of the Gods on the terrain here a little bit. Is he really gonna come after the Chosen of the Gods? He's gonna want to try and shoot the Chaos Warriors, so they're gonna actually hide back here for the time being. Let's just get some free damage here and then get out of here, because he's going to be trying to, he's probably going to summon some, stuff out of the spawn there. Alright, let's pull back. They're rotating a very silly way. I don't know why. So the sepulchral stalkers coming in. We're gonna use our throwing axes aggressively here, just to hammer the Chosen of the Gods, because they are, you know, like a strong unit that we really don't want to just let pummel us. Arbol actually gets a little bit stuck in here. We're gonna try and get out. Need to pull back and just get away. Let's try and get Arbol out of here. Alright, that's fine. He's gonna get away. Oh, buddy, get the hell out of here. Let's run back for the time being. Let's get our Flesh Hound on the side and see if we can maybe threaten some business here. Throwing axes got hit pretty hard. Definitely not loving that. It's just Skeleton Warriors coming out right now. Skeleton Horsemen are here. Send our Chaos Warriors forward a little bit. He's using a lot of ammunition to try and shoot Arbol right now, which has not really worked out for him up to this point. The Sepulchral Stalkers are definitely going to be annoying. Let's go see what we can do about attacking Cetra here. Alright, he pops a little heal just to keep his guy going. Gonna get the Minotaur out. He's used quite a bit of ammunition on the Chosen of the Gods. He's doing a good job of holding on to the points. Just hang around out here. Let's actually get the Skull Crushers out of range of the Chosen of the Gods. See them trying to line up. The Sepulchral Stalkers are somewhere in here. Let's get our people on the points. Let's move the throwing axes forward. Oh man, I forgot about the Minotaurs. They're all the way back here. There's a Necrotect with Restore, which is really useful. I mean, it's definitely going to do some work. Let's trot these guys in. Let's get these guys back around. We're actually going to pop Kill for Corn here. It does pretty good damage. And then we're just going to run away. Because I do want to try and pull the Sphinx of Uzkef in so I can use my throwing axes to try and shoot the big beastie. Okay, there's the Sepulchral Stalkers, too. Let's see what we can do to try and tie these things up. See my opponent, like, positioning and trying to get ready for these units. Let's try and get in here. Let's try and get around the flank. Let's get over here. The Minotaur's on the way in. We're going to get the Flesh Hounds attacking now. The Skull Crushers should be pretty well positioned here to do some good damage. Let's get the Flesh Hounds off and attack here. We're losing a couple units. The Minotaurs are getting absolutely run over right now, which is not great. But Sila's doing some pretty good damage. Let's get Arbol out of here and around. The Skull Crusher's out. I don't really want them to be fighting that big old thing. Let's try and attack the Sepulchral Stalkers for the time being. Minotaur's rallied. Gonna come back in here. Skull Crushers got caught anyways, which is just RIP. Let's actually attack these Ushapti, because they are exposed out in the middle of nowhere right now.
Rivers of blood! Brothers in bloodletting!
Yeah, the Skull Crushers are holding up pretty nicely over here, actually. And we're going to get the Chosen of the Gods. We've got the Forsaken on the way in. And we've still got a little goon squad that can deal with the, characters. We just need to make sure that we can finish the, sepulchral stalkers and we're gonna be okay. Alright, and we killed the Ushapti. Massive win. Corngore time. Corngore time. Let's get them out. Ground down most of this stuff. We've got some throwing axes left, which is awesome. Forsaken are fighting pretty well. They're going to be able to scrap against these Nakar horsemen. We get all of our characters moving over here now. Move over here, keep using our stuff to keep attacking. Oh, come on guys, y'all gotta hold. Why are y'all running away, dude? Let's pull back here a little bit. Can I get a flesh hound out to help our throwing axes? Our warriors are gonna hold here. Those Ushapti are gonna crumble out in a minute. Oh my god, dude, this freaking Sphinx is just murdering Arbol right now. Arbol is just getting absolutely fucking rolled by this thing. It's horrifying. Actually need to get over there and help him out. Losing the Skull Crusher hurt, and I don't really have any Minotaurs to replace those losses. Oh my god, dude. Is Arbol seriously gonna die here? This is so painful. Oh my god. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, Arbol dying is going to lose me this game. He's just getting absolutely rolled right now. The Sphinx of Uzkep is just killing everything. Maybe we can save him. I don't know how, but maybe we can.
Greatest warriors.
Scylla is at least fighting here still. That's nice. All of our units are terror routing because they're all cowards. Amazing. Despite having a shrine here. The Minotaur is going to stop the rampage. It's not looking great. Ooh, we might have actually gotten a Cetra. I don't know how Scylla is not finishing any of this stuff off. Nah, I think he's gonna get away there. We're holding the points at the very least.
One of your units has been destroyed.
Running a few units down. Let's get out here and attack the horsemen. Pretty gassed out here. Yeah, Arbol is just not getting it done. And now my opponent's got a whole bunch of, like, crap coming in. I don't think I'm going to be able to kill. And I have, like, nothing to summon in. So... we're cut. We're not going to be able to win this. Damn, dude. Alright. That's rough. Sepulchral Stalkers got 1600 value on me somehow. It didn't feel like they were doing that much damage. The throwing axes did not get it done. And the Skull Crushers I just kind of threw away. I fumbled that game again, dude. Oh my god. And the Forsaken were awful. 200 and 300. Corngores didn't do much better. No. I don't like. Oh my god. Ouch. Oh, that's rough, dude. 3 Skull Reapers into Greenskins and Wood Elves. That's pretty hilarious. I would not have thought that that would work, honestly. I have never really had a lot of success with Skull Reapers personally, but if anybody is gonna go, like, really crazy off-meta stuff and win, Berserk is absolutely the guy to do it. Just every time I bring Skull Reapers, they just seem to fall apart, even fighting against chaff-type units. I don't know, dude. Arbol just did not feel good in that game. He just did not seem to be doing much of anything. I probably just needed more Minotaurs, instead of going for a bunch of, Forsaken, who obviously just did not work. Just going for Minotaurs to actually stay after the, Sphinx. And against Cetra would have been better. And Karnak can also work. Karnak can also run down Cetra pretty nicely. Scylla did pretty good. He's just very consistent. He's also unbreakable, unlike Arbol. I don't know, man. Go back to the drawing board. I'll figure something out. The game felt winnable. I just don't think I played it as well as I could have or should have. Worked well into Greenskins. Wood Elves just... Yeah, that sounds about right. Wood Elves get away with an awful lot because of their mobility, man. Much as I am loath to admit. Now, Valkia is always good. I love Valkia. We actually won most of our games today with her. She was absolutely filthy. I see where you messaged Kentama about the Zinch Lord. Changeling into Green Knight is honestly not bad at all. I've seen people do that a lot. A lot of people now are doing Changeling into the Mask, which is really annoying because of the Mask's Mortis engine is just really busted. She's very hard to snipe for most factions, so yeah, you love to see some good Changeling tech. What's up, Mr. Fly? He's just hard to kill. The Green Knight survives so much, man. I mean, he's an amazing duelist. If you don't have magic damage, he basically just hard counters your faction. So, Vampire Coast, I just don't really know what you would try to do against him. 'Cause, yeah, I mean, Silostra loses magic damage on the crab. Not that it would really even be that good against him in any ways. Maybe you could, like, surround him with Sirens or something. They have magic damage. Oh, I don't even know if that would work. Now, that's a rough one, dude. Green Knight just bullying the crap out of you. And you can't really do Shade Wraith Gunners against Zinch because Ethereal unit, good damage output, but they'll just get melted by Blue Fire or something like that. Alright, I think that's going to be it for me today, guys. I'm going to go relax and chill. We had some good games today. We fumbled a little bit at the end there. couple losses against some really good players, so at the very least, there's no shame in that. It just would have been really nice to be able to rally up a little bit and make it into the finals. Double Spirit Leech might work against him. Yeah, you could, yeah, before we go, let's take a look at what you can theoretically do for Double Spirit Leech. You could probably do Silostra and just cut all of her stuff and bring her on the Rotting Leviathan. Bring a Fleet Admiral with Death Magic. And just Spirit Leech. Could even maybe throw Taunt on them. It's a nice little debuff. And bring Life Leech as well. Yeah, and just use Spirit Leech on the Green Knight all game. I think that might be your only way to really kill him. Unless you just tar pit him, which is also a viable strategy. I mean, you could like surround him with something like a Morngul or some animated Hulks, and it'd probably take him a little bit to cut through all those guys. I think a Depth Guard might be able to shred him a little bit with the pole arms, because they at least hit him. And they do hit pretty hard. Where the hell is Zinch? There they are. It's gonna be real tough no matter what, though, probably. How much is your opponent spending on the Changeling? Changeling? What if you just go Changeling with with no transformation, and you just use him as like a really cheesy caster? Although that only works when he's got 15 wins or greater. Does have Deceiving Shadows to make up for it though. Doesn't last very long though. All right, I don't know. Anyways, Green Knight's pretty cheap. 1,700 gold really isn't bad at all for a very strong lord who can duel pretty nicely. The Mask, the absolute bane of everybody's existence right now. Oh, Spiteful Shot. Spiteful Shot's a little gimmicky. It could work, but if your opponent is, like, aware of that strategy, he probably just hides the Green Knight somewhere, and you never get the opportunity. Plus, Zinch has some pretty good, like, flyers, and Luther is a little vulnerable on the, Terrorgeist to, fire damage, because he has regen. So he takes extra damage, and the 80 armor is nice, but a bunch of pink horror shooting at him will roast him pretty bad. I think that might be a little over-expensive compared to going Rotting Leviathan and the Death Casters. Because honestly, Death Casters will still be useful, even if your opponent goes with another Zinch Lord. That's because Zinch obviously has so much tied up in their casters. So if they go like Herald or even a Lord of Change, and they're trying to pink and blue fire spam, you can still leech them down, and then Silostra on the Crab can just run around beating up on infantry, because she's really, really meaty on the Leviathan. It's kind of hard to get rid of. But anyways, those are just some theories. Thank y'all for tuning in. Check out the VOD for those of y'all just showing up. We had a pretty nice stream today. So, I'll see you guys later. Hopefully I'll be able to stream sometime soon during the week. We'll see about it. But at the very least, I'll be around next weekend again to do some more games. So, take care, guys. And I'll see y'all later. Peace.